Good evening, and we thank you for joining us here on another episode of Mizfitz Sport Radio. I am your host, Chris, and again, another week, it's two of us, my main man, Pop.
What's good? I want to apologize for leaving you with chips yesterday. In the last recording. I know that wasn't fun, but
yeah, I had to deal with that.
I applaud you.
I had to keep my professionalism, with that Giants talk,
Yeah. Homer Simpson.
Oh. But we got another good one in store for you guys today. Obviously, a lot going on between playoffs underway with baseball. We're going to touch into that. Another week in NFL goes down, different performances. I definitely can say my power rankings have changed. I don't know about yours, but
a little bit.
But we got NBA preseason kicking off as well. And we're not going to touch on it today. We're going to wait a little bit. But just to spark it off, tonight was the first night of NHL as well. NHL season starting back up strong. Seems like they go forever.
Forever and ever.
Like, they get literally a month off and then they right back at it. But for starters, we're going to jump right into this NBA preseason, man. It's been a couple games in now, about a weekend. What are you seeing so far? Or do you feel like it's too soon?
I definitely feel like it's – for me to give judgment, it's too soon.
Okay.
When I look – so to compare – for one, let me say I hate an NBA preseason. And I like NFL preseason because more guys, like they're fighting for their job. So even if it's a second, third, fourth quarter, it might not be names that you know, but guys are playing hard. Not saying they're not playing harder in the NBA, because they are. But their roster is pretty set in the NBA. It's more of a, getting the feel, playing with each other, finally playing against other people. That's what they're doing in the NBA more than they got 25 people, 26 people, and they got to cut it down to a 16-man roster. That's not really what it really is about. So I could watch like the first quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, and then I lose interest quick. From what I have seen, obviously they putting the Lakers on TV
immediately.
Yeah. I'm from New York, so I've seen two Knicks, parts of Knicks games. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. I watched the Brooklyn and Knicks first quarter and a half. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like, I feel this way, I feel that way. One thing that I do like is they starting earlier. I kind of like these coaches aren't playing their guys as much as I feel like they used to, because, you don't want to hurt nobody. And then your guy, Zach LaVine, get hurt right away.
It was only a thigh contusion, though. It was only a thigh contusion. That's what they said.
The Knicks big man, he rolled his ankle in the Knicks and Nets game. But, he needs to be out there playing. Zach I probably wouldn't even touch it. I would have let Zach chill, man.
We just gave him some money. We need to let him just chill on ice. We just gave him a nice little pretty penny.
I don't have much of a – I know it sucks to say that, but I don't have much to say about this preseason.
No expectations, basically?
Nah.
All right, well, as a homer, let me ask you a homer question. Who are you most excited to see on the Nets this season, or looking forward to doing good on the Nets?
Oh, okay. Actually, I should have said this, right? Because I was actually talking to this dude at my job that's a Knicks fan. He was like, you didn't watch the game yesterday? I was like, I seen a couple minutes. And the two foreigners that we drafted didn't play. So it was even more reason for me not to watch. I wanted to see them. So it was like, once I noticed they both was DNPs, it kind of was pointless. That's who I wanted to see. when you read the news, they say Karis LeVert, which I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
It's wowing everybody. He came out, he had 15 points in like 14 minutes or something like that. He started. I don't know if he's going to continue to start, but I think he should start. D'Angelo Russell, that's who he's playing for his contract.
You got to prove yourself.
He's still, it's crazy. He's like 21, 22 still. That is crazy. But yeah, he got to prove it. He seen his boy Devin Booker get that deal. He want the same thing. I highly doubt he gets max from anybody. I don't care how he got to have an MVP type of year for anybody to max him out. But I like him, and I do want him to stay in Brooklyn.
I feel like he's young enough and talented enough to where he's gonna get max no matter what. I always harp on this when everybody's talk contracts. I've always felt like Mike Conley got overpaid. So I feel like with Mike Conley's age, for him to get that money, like you said, D'Angelo Russell's super young. His upside is definitely on a high level. He just has to show some sort of consistency and be able to show that he can actually perform in the clutch and he can be reliable.
And stay healthy, stay on the floor.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it for him because if he can't stay healthy, then it's going to be a waste of time. But I actually agree with your sentiments in regards to the preseason and the structure of it because, like, after thinking about it, like, after you said it, I was like, you know what? The lineups are set because I was watching the other day and I'm like, why do the Lakers have starters in the game in the third quarter, like fourth quarter? Like, are you serious? Like, you guys got Rondo running the offense in the fourth quarter. Like, you don't got nobody else, but they don't. They normally have the same 15 that they would have on any other regular season game. You know, NFL is definitely a lot more intensity. It's a lot more, there's a lot more meaning behind each play, because the players are like, I'm fighting for a spot. Where
you got people fighting for a starting spot, and you got people fighting for a spot to be on the team.
On the practice squad, you still fighting.
And then the practice squad, exactly.
Try to be on the practice squad, man.
I did read today when we filming this Thursday night that Rondo and Lonzo wasn't playing today, so they had a lineup of Ingram, Hart, Braun, Kuzma, and McGee. I thought that was an interesting lineup.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big lineup to say
that's probably the biggest they can be. Well, no, because Lonzo's like 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, I mean, Hart is kind of small because, I mean, either with Lonzo or Rondo, it would be a bigger lineup. Well, what's your take on that? Who do you think should start once season starts?
I think Lonzo should start. I think he should start. I wouldn't be mad if they do start Rondo. But I think Lonzo should start. I don't know if that worked. This is your point guard of the future. Why have him come off the bench? For a guy that's on the roster for 1 year. Now, if Rondo plays his way into the starting point guard, that's different. But I think you got to start with the guy that you picked second last year.
Okay. So you don't feel like – well, I don't know. Because I feel like with what they're trying to do, I'm sort of kind of frustrated that Lonzo hasn't been playing or hasn't been able to participate in the preseason. I guess with the injury and everything like that, he hasn't been able to take part in it. But
I think they're being cautious because there's plenty of videos of him in practice.
Okay. Because in my mind, I'm just like, you got to take this time to play against other competition and get that sort of that feel, because the same way with, Fultz or Simmons, where the question is jump shot consistency. Well, not really Simmons. It's just if he can actually take a jump shot. You never know till he do it. But
it's crazy. They've been on my Bleacher Report feed. All they talk about is, Fultz fixed his jumper.
Yep.
I see nothing pop up about Simmons yet.
It's like he ain't even thinking about it. He like, you know what? let me just go ahead and keep this post game working. Get these layups rolling.
I even had the one that popped up that said, guy attempted Kupo doing pull-up threes. So, like, they focusing on guys who's working on their game, but Ben Simmons ain't pop up one time on my feed.
Yeah, thinking about it, man. Like, he ain't even like, he like, you know what? I'm good. I'm where I'm at. Just going to keep on passing these over-the-back passes and just keep it moving.
I will say this doesn't have much to do with the play, but again, tonight a video came out. I'm not sure what they was doing. If they was like, I don't know. It was just from the clip that I saw. It was Kyrie and Gordon Hayward in the Boston Garden Arena with a bunch of fans, and somebody was interviewing them. And Kyrie got up and was like, you know, I'm going to re-sign. My plans is to re-sign here next year. And I think that's big because I've seen memes and stuff floating around earlier in the I think before preseason started, they had an interview and he said the same thing. And immediately I seen a meme of him. He was in Cleveland at like some, I don't know, he was with like little kids. And one of the little kids was like, are you going to leave us like LeBron did? And he was like, nah, I'm not going nowhere. And then they showed him leaving. So I'm like, they trying to get him again. So I think that's big that he's coming out saying it now, letting the team know, letting the guys know I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's good and all. You know, that's fine and dandy, him saying that. But he better remember who he playing for. Danny Ainge quick to pull that trigger before he have to pay you. He don't care.
He's still young, though. He's really young, too. It's crazy how young these guys are.
I mean, in basketball years, yeah, because you figure he's been in the league for, he's what, like 6th, 7th year now? Something like that.
He's like 25,
25, 26. Yeah. So he did 1 year at Duke, came right out, number one pick. I mean, most of these guys that we're talking about now are really one and done. It's very rare that we have a superstar talent in the NBA that actually stayed some years in college. Like the closest one is Draymond.
Off the top of my head, without thinking, Draymond Green. He's like off the name.
Exactly. But then I wouldn't even consider him superstar status.
Nah, he's not.
You know, like most.
Steph. I'm bugging. Steph didn't do 3?
Okay. Yeah, he did. But he was undersized. He had
Yeah, I don't think nobody thought he was going to be a superstar neither.
Because that first year at school, he definitely wasn't pulling from half like he was sophomore and junior year. Because he just basically took over. But the one thing I did see, and you know, I wanted to touch on it before we left the topic, Kawhi looked real good the other night. Like his movement, his intensity with the ball, movement without the ball on offense, which everybody knows he's, you know, a defensive, you know, savant. Like he's all about defense. He's going to lock you up. But the way he was taking control of that Toronto Raptors team, you could tell it wasn't like missing a beat where like they would miss DeRozan, especially since Kawhi can actually hit a three-pointer if he takes it. But I don't know. I was surprised. I ain't even gonna lie. I was surprised.
I'm not surprised. Back in July when we was out in Mexico, one day we was in a room. We was talking about basketball, and I'm assuming, did Kawhi get traded yet, or was he still in San Antonio? Either way, that don't make a difference.
Back then.
So we was talking, and he was asking, like, is he a franchise-changing player? Like, if the Raptors were in a lottery and they traded him there, would they be an instant, like, contender? And I think at the time I felt like I don't think he's a franchise-changing player. I think he's a star. I think he's a superstar. I don't know if I don't think he is like how Kevin Durant and LeBron is. I honestly feel like they might be the only two that's franchise changing.
He wouldn't be in your top 5?
No, he
Right
is.
now?
No, he is. I just don't think that. I still think people need to be with him, which everybody needs help. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know if he's the type of guy that's going to pull mediocre players up and make them better to the point where, like, we went from lottery to the top half of the top 4 seed in the playoffs.
Nah, I don't see that. I agree. Because I've always said Kawhi is like
Luck
that.
just threw an interception.
Oh, yours is faster than mine. Oh yeah,
my bad.
Oh man. But yeah, I've always said that Kawhi Leonard reminded me of that like half retarded dude that you would play pickup with. You know, like you never picked a fight with him. You never fouled him too hard. But whenever he got the ball in his hand, it was like he was gonna score. It was nothing.
Word.
He always over hustled and played.
Yeah, he definitely over hustles. Like, yo, we just chill, dog.
Word, you be like, yo, why you? We on concrete, we outside, fam. Chill out.
That hard, son.
Yep. He that one that come out with the goggles on, and you be like, as soon as he put the mouthpiece in, you be like, oh, I'm not playing this one.
With the chips glasses on. Yo, stop trying to force feed us his personality, y'all.
Yep.
So stop it, man.
Everybody trying to ask this questions and, oh, what do you like? Yo,
I don't care what CDs he listening to.
Yo, if I was him, every answer would be pizza. What? Like, what's your favorite food? Pizza. What do you like to live? Pizza.
I don't care about your personality. I never cared about your personality. I don't care about it now because you in Toronto. Yo, he went to the San Antonio of the East. He really went to the San Antonio of the East. Like the city, not the organization.
I know. I understand.
Nah, I gotta clarify that because I don't want people thinking I'm saying
that they're gonna be good.
Word. Nah.
They were like, oh, that's his prediction. That's his playoff prediction right there.
Word. Chill, Drake.
So, jumping in on it, man. NFL Week 4 recap as we both sitting here watching this Patriots-Colts game right now.
If you call it a game.
I mean, nobody expected it to be a game, did you?
I was hoping. I always hope for the Patriots to lose, so I was hoping.
But what was your takeaway in Week 4, man? What was your big wow and what was your letdown from last week's games?
My big wow. I don't want to sound like I'm bigging myself up. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. Broken record.
Man, Patrick Mahomes, man. He was running from Von Miller, switched the ball in the other hand. I'm like, yo, chill. Yo, this dude is crazy, man. That was a tough win. And the Phantom episode that we didn't post, Chris had Broncos in his top 5 and on the power rankings.
So you're just gonna throw that out there?
Solidify. Man, going into Denver against that defense, Mahomes showed me a lot. The Rams. All right, so I still think the Vikings are really good. I don't think they should be putting up 31 points on nobody. So everybody's talking about the Vikings defense. The Rams defense should not have allowed 31 points to these Vikings. Thielen and Diggs was doing whatever they wanted, just like the Rams receiver was doing whatever they wanted.
Well, you got to take into consideration too. What's his face was hurt. Well, he wasn't 100%. I think it was safe to say that cornerback wasn't 100%. Marcus Peters,
yeah.
And then I don't think Aqib Talib played. So that plays a big role, a big part of it. Those two not being, completely healthy. Granted, they got Nicole Roby who's supposed to be, their slot guy, their guy to step up and, make big plays. But, yeah.
The Rams is looking like the Rams from 01. Their offense is looking amazing.
Greatest show on turf.
The Saints, I like the way they won. They played my Giants. The score, they scored 33 points. That score is a bit misleading because it's not like they was a high score. It wasn't a high scoring game. Like, it was very methodical. It
was a tough game from what I watched.
It was a tough game. They scored some garbage points, but they won. I'm not saying it like that. They definitely won the game, but it was a style in which they won. It wasn't Breeze throwing for 300 plus yards and 7 touch. Like, they was in the trenches. Like, that's a type of game. Although it's not cold in New York yet, that's a type of game that wins on the road in
snow.
November, December. Like, that impressed me. I was really impressed by that. I was impressed by the Denver Broncos, although they lost. I still don't think they're real contenders to make the playoffs, but I was impressed by that. Mitch Trubisky, man. I don't know. I'm gonna let you talk about them, man. I ain't even gonna do it, man. I'm gonna let you talk about it. The Vikings are disappointing. Honestly, they won, but I didn't. It's something about Green Bay that just don't do it for me. I don't know what it is. It's just something about them. I feel like they should be having a Kansas City start right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think that. I feel like that. But they are 2-1-1. I feel like they should be before the season start. I feel like they should be was knocking on the door for the top 5 power ranking, and I feel like by now they should have been in there. But I don't think they're in there in the top 5.
Yeah. The reason I would say they fell off this season is because they focused on defense, which obviously the last 2 years, that has been their Achilles heel, their cornerbacks and their DBs getting toasted. But then they had a lot of talent leave. I think the biggest one was Jordy Nelson going to the Raiders. As much as people want to say he's old, he's slow, him and Aaron Rodgers together were good, was great.
Yeah, him and Derek Carr looking good.
Yeah. He's not breaking away from nobody, but his route running, you still got to catch him.
Word, that's fine. And my last 2, I'm impressed with the Tennessee Titans. I hate watching them.
They're so bored.
I don't know how Mariota does it, but he's out there injured. He's always injured too. That man's always injured. But he finds a way to get out there, and he makes plays. And my number 1 disappointment is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not saying Le'Veon Bell is the reason, but y'all got to pay that man. I'm sorry. Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to he said he's coming back. Who knows what that means? Week 7 after the bye. Yeah. I guess he's betting on hey, let's see what y'all record is by week 7. Let's see how it is. What are they? 1-2-1 right now or something like that?
Horrible.
I don't know, man.
They're definitely 1-2-1 right now.
I think this is silly to ask, but do you think that guys aren't playing as hard? That's fans that's on his side?
No. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, that's a silly question.
I think they don't got the personnel, personally. They've always been a outscore you offense, even when, hoping that he gets to walk regular again, let alone if he can play football again. But even when they had Ryan Shazier, their defense never locked anybody up. You know what I mean? Like, they were a blitz-heavy team on defense, and they caught breaks. Their DBs were always suspect, even going back to the Ike Taylor days.
Yeah.
And Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu. Like, Troy Polamalu really saved a lot of bad DB play.
Who was the fast DB they had? He was nice. He played to, like, a very old age, too, especially for DBs. He might have played till, like, he was 40.
I know they had Ike Taylor, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark. Who was the
other? Mind. Keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. But they their defense, to me, has always just been suspect. Now, being that they don't have a pass rush, I feel like that's exploiting their DBs even more now. Like, it's horrible. With their offense, it's just being that they don't got Le'Veon Bell now. Like I said last week, there's no need to stack the line. So now they have enough bodies out in coverage to where they can double up on Antonio Brown, and Ben is just trying to force stuff like he always does. Like,
always does.
He always forces it to him. Granted, if it's one-on-one or maybe even one-on-two sometimes, Antonio Brown will come down with the football. But now it's like 1-on-3. You know, they beating him up on those routes, you know, where he's not coming back across the middle. Juju Smith-Schuster is good, but
balling.
He's not touches. Who?
He's balling.
But he's not getting enough touches, I don't feel like. I feel like he's not getting the ball enough, man. James Conner had a great first week, and then now it's like, yeah, he doesn't have that change of direction that Le'Veon brings you. He doesn't have that second-level pace that Le'Veon has. You know,
out
James.
Of the backfield, he's not going to
He'll come out the backfield. He'll catch a couple if he's open, but he's not going to make you miss. He's going to run you over, or he's going to hit you. But then with Le'Veon, where he made you miss, he can get 5 or 10 more yards. James Conner, he's going to hit you, and then he's just going to fall forward. That's one thing I can say is good about him. He doesn't fall backwards very often. He falls forward. He reminds me of like a Mark Ingram. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to fall forward every time he gets tackled. But there's no change of pace. There's no direct misdirection to where I can get out of a tackle and keep on going for 10 to 15 more. So, yeah, Pittsburgh isn't really surprising to me. Like, not at all. Let's see. Big takeaways. I can't even front. Like, I got to give you all the props. Like, you called Pat Mahomes in episode 1. You called Pat Mahomes, you know, in episode 2 and 3. This dude is real. Like, even outside of the left-handed pass, which I feel like, you know, you running for your life, anything can happen at that point.
Yeah.
Like, if they told him he had to kick it, he'd have kicked it.
But word.
The way
get away from Von Miller, you're gonna do what you gotta do.
Like, Von Miller had to come out the game after that because he had to run so far to catch him. And I saw a stat where they said, I think it was like 74% of his passes that he completed that game were outside of the pocket.
Yeah, they was on him.
So even with the pressure, he's not forcing bad passes, which you would see from a rookie or a first-year starter. You would see, you know, like the Sam Darnold passes where they're being forced into double coverage because you got the pressure coming after you. That's not happening with him. He's, okay, I'm going to get out of pocket. I'm going to create some time, and I'm going to wait for something to open up. You know, he's not overzealous with his passes. When he does, you know, lay one out there, it's either my receiver getting it or it's an incomplete. I think the biggest stat right now, even outside of his 14 touchdowns in 4 weeks, is 0 interceptions. You know, obviously the key to winning is scoring, but you can only score when you got the ball. Yeah. And he's not giving that ball up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jags. I feel like the Jags are just being the Jags. You know, the Rams look good.
Well, isn't that crazy, though? That the Jags win and we're like, oh, yeah, the Jags are being the Jags. Like, they was losers, son. They were losers. And now it's like, yeah, the Jags supposed to win. Like that's
they weren't like those old Jags teams weren't that bad.
I'm not going back that far.
I am. Maurice Jones-Drew.
They went to the playoffs. Like the first or second season ever, they went to the playoffs.
Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
It was Fred Taylor, and I forgot who the other running back was.
I forgot who the quarterback was. Was it
Mark Brunell?
Mark Brunell, yeah.
Which Mark Brunell, quite as kept, is one of my top 10 favorite quarterbacks, just on a personal level.
And then they had Tom Coughlin.
They got a real good team now, man. I think they're ready. It's just, I've said this before, I don't trust Blake Bortles. I do not. Even after that one good week that he had and everybody was like, oh, he was playing like Tom Brady. No. Blake Bortles will break your heart every chance he gets.
And Fournette got to stay healthy.
Oh, man. And that's the crazy thing is, that was the one thing with him coming out of college, coming out of LSU, was that would he be able to stay healthy with the style of play he has or the style of play that he brings to the table?
Yeah.
And it's like it's not even concussions related, or it's like his legs.
Yeah, he gets nicked up pretty easy.
And he'll have a small injury that leads to like mad timeout for him. Like it makes no sense.
They lucky they got Yeldon, because Yeldon is very good also.
Him and Corey Grant catching passes out of the backfield.
Yeah. I think Fournette is out this week against KC. Another big game for them. That's gonna be a good game.
You saw that trash talk between Tyreek Hill and
he's a Pro Bowl kick returner.
Yo.
I'm gonna say this about Ramsey, which I noticed in week 1 when he played the Giants. He can't guard small guys.
Nope.
He needs the Julio Jones, the AJ Greens. He needs the physical guys. The guys that, and I'm not saying Julio and them aren't great route runners, because they are. But the guys that rely on a route running, he don't want no problems with them. He don't want no problems with Tyreek Hill. Like, honestly, nobody wants problems with Tyreek Hill one-on-one. Keep it a buck.
Those shifty wide receivers, he can't keep up with. That's why I feel like he was, he was chilling on that Odell Beckham talk once the game started.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, all right, yeah, you going to the other side. I ain't going to follow you. I'm going to let you go ahead and get some of A.J. Boye over there. But, yeah, Tyreek Hill, I feel like I give the nod to Tyreek Hill in that matchup just because obviously flat out speed, he not going to catch him. My only issue is Jalen Ramsey got a lot of makeup speed. He'll catch back up to a play if the ball isn't passed perfect.
If it was anybody else, well, not anybody, but Mahomes got the arm that you ain't catching up to.
Yes. Yes, and the accuracy from what we've seen. Like, that's no doubt.
It should be a good one regardless, because the Jags just have a really good defense regardless. So they're not going to let – I mean, they're going to try. KC is going to try, but they're not going to let him blow the top off that defense.
I think they're going to be able to take a nice little picture or diagram from what the Broncos did in the first half. Because the Broncos did a real good job of maintaining their offense in the first half. It's just going to be a matter of what the Broncos couldn't do was score on that horrible Chiefs defense.
Yeah. If
they can score on that defense and put some pressure on them, I think it's going to lead to, a couple sacks. I see this week, I see Pat Mahomes giving up one. I think it's going to be his first pick. Whether it's a tip or somebody jump a route, I see one coming.
And quiet as kept, Chris Conley's having a pretty good season in KC also. Everybody's focusing on Tyreek Hill.
Yo, where has Sammy Watkins disappeared to?
I mean, this is his third team already. There's a reason why. That's all I got to say.
Chris Conley just got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's like 6'3", 6'4",
Just as fast as Sammy Watkins, if not faster.
He definitely up there with that 4.3, type speed. Shifty, he got good hands. He just can't stay on the field.
Yeah. What's your power rankings looking like this week?
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna give you this goal right now. Since I be picking these winners, So bottom 5. I'm gonna give you the bottom 5. I got Bills, Cardinals. Well, let me give the order. Cardinals is still absolutely worst team ever. Unfortunately. Hopefully they can do something with Josh Rosen. I just hate it because I actually like Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, man.
It just sucks that he's going out like this. But Cardinals, Jets is second worst. Then the Bills, Lions, and then the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders should have won that game. I think the Raiders definitely got a gimme in that game. That last game against the Browns.
So you said Cardinals, Bills. Who was the third team?
Jets, Lions.
Oh, Raiders and Lions.
And Raiders, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, ain't nothing to argue about with none of those teams. even if mine is different, it ain't different by much. I tell you that.
Top 5, Rams is just unbelievable right now. So Rams, I got number 1. Chiefs have secured number 2, secured it. Jags is still at 3. I got Saints at 4. I have the Ravens jumping up to my 5 spot. I feel like as a complete team, the Ravens have definitely stepped up and shown a lot. Outside, I feel like their one loss was, like I said, divisional games are playing way more of a role this season to me, and their one loss was to the Bengals. So they're basically both 3-1. But I feel like as an overall team, the Ravens have a better team. You said what?
I said they spanked the Steelers.
Yeah. My 5B is the Bears, though. Bears is like a 6 to me. I got them close to the top 5.
So I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna start with my top 5. So the first 2, same Rams, Chiefs, nothing need to be said. My third, and the Giants not looking good right now, so it's not saying much. But I was really impressed by what I saw from the Saints. I can't say that I live in New York. I live on the East. We don't get a bunch of Saints games unless they playing the Giants or the Jets, or they like the game of the week, or Sunday or Thursday, whatever, Sunday night. I just know from when I do see them, it's Drew Brees throwing 45, 50 attempts.
Yeah,
I was impressed by what I saw, and it was AK by itself, Kamara by itself. It wasn't the running back by committee because the other guys hurt.
Yeah,
I was really impressed. So I have them at 3. I have the Bears at 4. Trubisky, he's doing enough. That defense, he don't have to do too much. And what the hell happened to Jordan Howard last week? Was he hurt? What happened?
It just wasn't a part of the offensive scheme. Legit, Tariq Cohen was
killing.
It was a lot of passes, though. It was a lot of passing, and the whole offensive playbook was passes out of the backfield. It wasn't a lot of –
but once they started smacking them, I would figure they did. In the fourth quarter, they started running the ball with Jordan Howard, but they was smacking them since early.
They knew they had nobody to match up with him coming out the backfield in the pass game because he had I think he had 120 yards receiving.
Yeah, and then 60-something rushing or something.
Yeah.
And then I have the Panthers at 5.
Wow. So you don't even have the Jags in your top 5.
Nah, I don't.
Jeez.
I think I need to see them against KC. I need to see that.
Has that Panthers defense showed you enough? You think?
I think they have, I think. See, so all right. So you said the Panthers defense showed me enough, and that's a valid question. I understand the question. When I look at the Jags, I look at it like, what happens when Blake Bortles when they gotta score 24, 28? What happens when they have to do that? Because they're gonna have to do that this week. They're gonna have to give you 20. 17, I don't think 17 is winning against this KC team.
Even against that Jags defense.
Even against that defense. That's like the Rams. Like, to beat the Rams in KC right now, you gotta put numbers up. Or you got the ultimate defensive scheme. Like how Brady laughed when Antrell Rose said the score's gonna be 17 or 14 or something like that in the Super Bowl. Like, that's how the Rams and KC should feel. Like, what? We only gonna score 14? Oh, all right. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, oh, that's what you think.
Word. You gotta put numbers. I need to see that. And then they probably should. If they win, they probably jump over KC to me. But I just like what I see from the Panthers. I like what I'm seeing. I feel like Kim has more weapons than he did the year when they went to the Super Bowl. And
yeah, I would agree.
I just like the way they're playing. They're playing really tough. And let me think of a 6. I guess the Jags. Yeah, the Jags will be 5B or 5A, whatever. My bottom. Definitely the Cardinals. Like, they're so real quick before I continue, because you are college football more than I am. They have their quarterback of the future, supposedly.
Yeah.
They get the number 1 pick. Who do you think they going after? Is there a Saquon Barkley? Is there a Odell Beckham? Or is it defense? Or is there a O-lineman that you're going to get for the next 15 years?
I feel like they would have to go O-line. If they don't go O-line, then Ed Oliver is the next best thing from
Who's
Houston.
that?
Defensive tackle from Houston. He's the next best thing as far as someone that's like a staple on your defense, on your defensive side, where you can build around him. You know, they have Robert Nkemdiche from Ole Miss that they drafted a couple of years back. He really hasn't had a chance to do much because there's no spreadness. Like, there's no – like, they can just double team him. There's nobody else on their defensive line that really puts fear in anybody's heart.
Yeah.
They got the linebacker from, I think it was South Carolina.
Oh, Buchanan?
No, not Deion Buchanan. They drafted – was it not Rashard Evans?
Oh, is that Rashard Evans? It's Rashard something.
Yeah, they drafted him last year, I believe it was, who's great off the edge. Like, he can get to the quarterback off the edge, and he can play in coverage. So he definitely adds to it. I feel like you got at least 3 more years in Pat Pete the way he's looking. Like, he's still a shutdown corner. Buda Baker is good as either coming up in the slot or playing safety. So I don't see any cornerbacks getting picked that high as number 1 pick. You know, I don't see any worthy wide receivers being picked up that early. You know, Debo isn't good enough yet. So, yeah, I'd probably say they already got the quarterback. They still got the running back, you know, who can do everything. David Johnson, even though he had an injury last year, you know, we can't forget
He had a good game last
catching
week.
out of the backfield.
He had a good game last week, actually.
Yeah. So I'd say
or maybe
they don't trade out of the pick.
I was just about to say maybe they should trade it and rack up on picks because they need help in a lot of places.
They do. And this is going to be a pretty good draft, I believe, coming up, where it's going to be good pieces depth-wise as far as DBs, linebackers, you know, but their linebacking core is good. They just need D-line and O-line help. So, yeah, I would say that.
I got the Bills as number 2. I feel like they'd probably be in the same area as the Cards. You would trade that pick, get a bunch of picks for it. I'm looking at the third worst team, the Colts. And I don't know, man.
You think it's time for the Colts to go move on from Andrew Luck?
Yeah, I don't know. It's too hard to find a core. I've never been big on Andrew Luck, but I don't. I don't know. It might be too early. I might have to let that contract run out.
I mean, they sell now. They might be able to get something out of it.
Oh, ain't no might. They will get something out of it, but you gotta sell tickets too. Yeah, Colts at number 3. I have the Texans at number 4.
Okay.
They should. The fact that they had to go to overtime to beat the Colts says enough.
You don't feel like it's just been bad breaks in games?
I mean, that's part of sports and football.
Because, I mean, Deshaun Watson technically hasn't been playing bad.
I'm not saying he the worst, the fourth worst quarterback. But
no, I know.
I think this past week was his best game. He had almost 400 passing yards. He did have a good game.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck had a good game. But look who they had a good game against. Both of their teams sucked. And then I got the Jets coming at that last pick. It was a toss-up, though. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to change that. Because the Jets is supposed to be bad. The Raiders not supposed to be this bad. So I'm going to change that. Yeah, I'm going to change that. I'm going to put the Raiders there.
I swear, just the baddest thing about this Raiders is the one thing that they're terrible at is the one thing they put themselves in that position for.
And then did you see Gruden say that they wanted to take who's a DB? Derwin James, but because the prior guys drafted 2 D-backs the last 2 years, he was scared to pull a trigger.
Yeah, because they had Carl. I think it was Carl Joseph and
the African name dude.
Oh, he was first round pick? I didn't know he was a first round pick.
I don't know if he was a first round pick, but he said that. No, I think he said the last 2 guys was
because Carl Joseph, wasn't he like 2 years ago, I believe?
Yeah, and then the African dude was last year.
Nah, what's his name?
No, not this drive.
Yeah.
Last drive.
Yeah, but no, the last drive before this one, they got Conley, though. He was their number 1 DB that they drafted, their cornerback.
Oh, okay.
Garyon Conley.
But yeah, the Raiders shouldn't be this bad.
I mean, I understand. I hated when the 49ers drafted a freaking defensive lineman I think it was 3 years in a row for the first pick.
Yeah. He said it made him they didn't want to pull the trigger on it.
I don't even want oh man. All the needs we had. Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas. What the hell? After already having Ahmad Brooks off the edge and Aaron Lynch, who's no longer on the team. Neither one of them. And
I will say both of our homer picks are teetering. They're teetering on that bottom 5.
Yeah, that's kind of tough for me. After realizing none of my quarterbacks in the 49ers jersey know how to either slide or get out of bounds. They all just want to be running backs. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, my quarterbacks really don't understand, we need you to pass the ball, slide, or go out of bounds. Like, stop trying to take hits, man.
Nah, man. They out. Oh, man. Andre Roberson on OKC out for 2 months.
Oh. Injury or surgery?
It's had a setback from the injury he had last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said it was a setback on the injury.
That's big on the defensive end, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
I hate that he has absolutely no type of offense. Like legit, he's worse than what's his name from the Grizzlies?
Oh, that's my man. Oh shit, what's his name?
What's his name?
Oh, that was my man. He used to get buckets from the low.
Yeah, he ain't get no bucket.
Nah, like the towards the end of his career, he used to give you some buckets. He was on Boston first. Oh my God, what's his name?
Tony Allen.
Tony Allen. Shit, that's my man, son.
Yo,
Like they would say on Inside the NBA, he's one of the dog alley people.
word. Like, you gotta have him with you, yo.
Word.
But it's funny. I just like to try and find the name. I just typed in I typed in Memphis Grizzlies defensive player. His picture, his name, everything came up first.
They don't got nobody else ever in the history of Memphis.
Yo, legit, nobody else came up just now. It came up with his whole wiki page, yo. Him, his wife name, school he went to. All I typed was Memphis Grizzlies defensive player, son. Oh, man. But yeah, man, football is definitely intense and definitely, I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's what we needed to be. You know, okay, nice pass from Andrew Luck just now.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a toss up. Like, granted, it's looking like the Rams is running away with it, but I feel like any one of these other good teams can take them out at any point in time. I'm still holding on to hope. Once they play the 49ers, we're going to get that win. Sneak win, baby. Telling you. Divisional rivals.
they might. Just over the strength of overlooking them, they might.
But let's talk about this bread and butter right now, man.
I thought you was watching that game. I thought I was going to be watching the football. You was watching the baseball game.
I was definitely flipping back and forth, but then I got caught up in this football game.
Did you see how it ended?
I didn't see. I saw there was a walk-off for who is it?
Hold on, let me play it for you. Walk-off single.
Yeah, definitely saw that it was a walk-off. And if you don't know, people, we talking about baseball. We talking about these playoffs. You know, go Yankees.
Yes, sir.
But what are your, we got.
I'm ready to raise my voice, but the Yankees won. So I'm chilling.
You can hear the enthusiasm in his voice.
Word.
Just know, if the Yankees happen to lose,
there might have been a different podcast. I don't know what topics we would have got through, but it would have been a different podcast.
He might have been the first mute ever on the show, guys. Just know that.
Word. But
what are your expectations this playoffs, man? What are you expecting to see?
I'm gonna get the Yankees out the way. I'm expecting them one or two things. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna punch Boston in the mouth. We're gonna beat Chris Sale, and that's gonna set the tone. Or we get one game, and we lose.
Like one game, that's it?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I feel like, I don't know. It could be wishful thinking, but I kind of feel like the way we ended things, I feel like Boston respects us. They have a little fear. I think there's a little fear there. I don't know where Chris Sale is at right now. Like, he's been off and on for like the last month and a half. I don't know where he's at physically. So we're going to see what happens. I'm hoping we go in there and punch them in the mouth. Even if we lose, I want us to knock him out the game in the 5th inning.
Early. Okay.
Yeah. Let them go through their bullpen and beat us.
If it comes down to bullpens, who you got?
I don't want to talk about that. So, in the first episode, I had Houston winning it all. I still believe they're going to win it all.
Really? Jeez.
I didn't think the Dodgers was going to get in. Now, I wanted them to get in because I want to see Yankees versus Dodgers. That's what I want to see. So, my prediction is unbiased is Houston, and unbiased, I think the Dodgers make it to the World Series. I think so. So I had the Cubs in week 1. The first episode, I think I had the Cubs and the Rock in Houston, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, because I know you were high on the Cubs. Yeah.
I think
you felt like the Cubs were going to repeat. Yep.
So I think that the fact that that the Dodgers made it in, it might be because they have all the talent in the world. So
they paid enough for it.
Yeah, they sure did. If they continue to be hot, I don't see nobody beating them other than Houston. I don't even think Boston could beat them. So my predictions is the Yankees gonna go in there, they're gonna punch them in the mouth, or they're gonna handle us and we squeak out one win. Houston's coming out regardless. I have the Dodgers staying hot, making it to the World Series, and I have Houston winning it all. Hopeful homer thinking the Yankees gonna punch them in the mouth. They're gonna sweep them. We're gonna battle Houston because ain't no sweeping on Houston. And that Dodgers, oh man, that would be one of the highest rated World Series in a long time if we get Yankees, Dodgers, and we win. What you got?
So I feel like I feel the complete opposite. I feel like the Astros are gonna get surprised by the Indians and they're not gonna make it past the Indians. I'm kind of pissed because in the first episode, I was high on the Brewers and the Rockies, and I'm mad that they're playing each other. So that means one of them is going to be gone. So I'm kind of mad about that. But I feel like the Rockies are going to come out on top of that one, even though with them losing tonight, I feel like it was a tough-fought game. And I feel like the Rockies have the talent. And this is early. I feel like the Rockies now, this season, are where the Yankees were last season, where it was happening a year too soon.
Right.
So I feel like the Rockies have a lot going for them. I think they're going to shock the Brewers and go through taking them out and then make it a fight. But if the Yankees win game 1, I got the Yankees taking the series. I personally feel like David Price don't want no smoke with our lineup, and he's probably one of their only pitchers that we have that little mental thing over him. Like he knows, like, I got to pitch against this whole lineup. Like, he don't want no smoke with that lineup.
You ain't going no more than 4.
Exactly, and he knows that. So I feel like if we can get one on sale, we got it. I don't have any other reservations or cautions with anybody else. I think if we can get Sale, I think that'll take all the wind out of their sails. It's almost like going undefeated for a whole season.
Oh, interception.
But so I feel like if the Yankees get past Boston, nobody's stopping the Yankees. If Boston comes out, I think the winner is coming out of Boston and New York, personally. I feel like Boston's team all the way around from 1 through 9 is the only team that rivals our lineup 1 through 9, where you can get points from everybody, like every single body. like I said, the Rockies, I really like, what's his name? Trevor Story. Like for a young player, I think he's the next one. I think he's one of the next ones up there. The way we harped on Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, I think Trevor Story's that guy, along with Chris Bryant. I think they're going to have some real good battles. Atlanta Braves, too soon. They don't have enough experience and they don't have enough firepower. Like you said, I don't see them getting past the Dodgers. They're currently losing right now 4-0. Just ended the 6th.
And I like them a lot, too.
I think the way that they've been winning with, obviously taking the lead early with these leadoff home runs from Acuna and then basically maintaining leads has been what's been the main story with the Braves. But all in all, their pitching has been good. Their bullpen has been good. They've been getting all-around play from everybody, but I don't see anybody stopping either the Yankees or the Red Sox. It sucks that they got to play first round, but I think it's good because it gets it out of the way and then leaves everything else up to just baseball. And it's not, the allure of the Yankee-Red Sox battle and the rivalry. Once that's over with, it's like, okay, cool. We can just get right down to baseball, and it's going to be who outplays who.
Right.
So I'm a homer, though. Yankees all the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Yankees all the way, baby.
We went in game 1, setting the tone.
Yes. Come out big, get some home runs. It was good to see Aaron Judge hit that home run yesterday.
Set it off. I thought they was going to start Tanaka, but I think they like Tanaka pitching at home.
I feel good with AJ Happ. When we first before we got him, I told PH AJ Happ is going to be. I think should be.
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel good about AJ Happ, man. He has the experience. He has the arm to get us through.
He was going to be a casualty if the Yankees lost yesterday.
Who?
He was going to be a casualty. Sonny Gray was going to be. I had it. And it wasn't even their fault. It was just I was just going to go off about all
the bad decisions from the year.
Yeah, man. Like they should have went. Well, it doesn't matter because they won. And we gonna win game 1 in good fashion too. I don't want no 13 inning. Nah.
Yeah.
I want them to be in Boston looking sad, quiet for like 6 innings, quiet. Like, damn. We got 6 more innings to go. Shit.
Yeah, started early, word. But yeah, it's definitely gonna come down to our bats and our small ball, man. Brett Gardner has to get on base. It can't be situations where he's not getting on base and giving our big bats an opportunity to get some RBIs in. But yeah, man, baseball, football, and basketball. All three.
And hockey.
Full-fledged right now. I was just getting ready to say hockey just starting back up. So I think it's going to be a lot, still big expectations from those Capitals from winning the Stanley Cup last year to seeing if they can repeat. They got a lot of good young talent. So I think sports and all is just really at a real good time right now. Like
it's that time of the year. And
October, November is always good.
And Call of Duty back.
Oh, yeah. Definitely can't wait. I'm going to get in trouble with that one. I know it.
About to pre-order it right now.
What's the release date?
The 12th.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to get on that then. I got a week.
Right around the corner.
But Mizfits, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Anything that you've heard here today, give us your feedback. Comment on the post, like, subscribe. Yeah. We respond.
Hit the notification bell, all of that.
Yeah. If you look at other posts, any comments put on there, we definitely respond. We like the feedback. We entertain it and we definitely give you our feedback. So don't be afraid to tell us what you think because we're going to give it right back to you.
Hopefully next episode, the rest of the cast will be here. But there's always going to be somebody here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to Chips, PH, all the rest of the Misfits out there. Definitely appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. We out of here.